and welcome to a video where I'm gonna try my best to speak properly, and by that I just mean my level of speaking. I'm gonna try not to talk too quietly, which I feel like I am because my ear infection, but I'm also gonna try not to shout because I can't hear well out of this ear. I would say I've got like 20 to 30% hearing in this ear right now. It sucks, but I'm not gonna let that get me down. I got products to test, I got things to do, I'm making muffins today. I've got no time for no ear infection. I mentioned it at the end of my weekly wear from last week. If you're wondering, I'm talking like everyone knows about this, but yeah, just forewarning if I'm a little strange energy here or whatever. But I've got another BB cream to test out with you guys today, another drugstore affordable one. This one is new to me anyways. I hadn't heard of it before. This is the Catrice Clean ID Hydro BB cream. Now, they had apparently come out with a Clean ID line of products like a highlighter, a bronzer, an eyeshadow palette, a lip balm, all sorts of stuff. I didn't see a foundation listed there, but this was last fall, late summer, was it? I think it was July to August 2019, and now they have this. But basically it was just a line of products that was all vegan, cruelty-free, that sort of a thing. So I don't know if this is like Clean ID Collection 2.0 or if I'm just really late to the game, but in any case, here we go. I got this from Ulta. This is $10, and you do get a little more than the typical ounce of product. You get 1.01 ounce of product. It has, just like last week's BB cream, an abysmal shade range. I mean, 6 shades, not even kind of going into the deep end. Like, I would say maybe the deepest shade they offer, at least based on the little circle here, is medium. Like, I wouldn't even call that medium deep. I don't know why. Hopefully I can find better arm swatches, but the arm swatches they have on Ulta's website only show 2 of the colors swatched. Why? I don't, okay. But they say that this is gonna give us that no makeup look. It is made with 99% natural ingredients. It's gonna be lightweight, natural coverage, and give the skin a radiant finish, and it apparently works on all skin types. We shall see. When they say that, it usually does not work for oily skin, but we'll give it a shot. It's also enriched with shea butter, so it is nourishing to hydrate the skin, and as I said, it is free of a lot of things, cruelty-free, vegan, very natural, blah blah blah. And how to use is super simple. Apply to cleansed skin and blend it. Pro tip, you can also use concealer. Wow, thanks. Without that pro knowledge, I would have never dreamed. I do have cleansed, moisturized skin, and now I'm excited to try this out. I am not trying it with concealer today, as I don't do as always. This ear infection is eating away at my brain. No primer, no concealer today. We're just gonna test this product on its own. So I got the shade Fair Neutral. Pretty sure this was the lightest one. This is made in Italy. I don't know, whenever something is made in Italy, I just instantly think fancy. Any Italians watch my video? Is that true? Like real true blue Italian? My heritage is partially Italian, but never been to Italy myself. Great, so this actually does look like it is quite fair. A lot fairer than it was showing on the website, so hopefully this isn't too pale for me, but we're gonna make it work either way. I was about to say, I don't have too much going on with my skin right now. Hello denial, but we're gonna test this out, see what we can get for coverage, if any at all. I mean, it didn't promise much coverage, so I'm not expecting much, but I do want to see that it has the ability to it's just kind of stinky. It does feel very hydrating. It feels like I'm rubbing water into my skin right now. But I can definitely see why this would be no makeup, but it's almost to the point where it's like, yeah, but like maybe just don't wear makeup because it's not doing anything. That's how it's kind of looking to me, but can't really describe the smell to you guys. It's like that kind of really, not clean like a clean linen kind of a clean, but like a natural ingredients kind of a cardboard, but mixed with a little bit of berry scent. It's very, I don't like it whenever products smell like this, but I think it reminds me of like the Found, is it the Found Beauty? And then like the e.l.f. matte primer that I've been using lately. But anyways, let's go ahead and try with the sponge as well. The brush side I think blended in just fine. It was really barely noticeable, so it would be hard to not blend it, I think. Or if you didn't blend it well, you wouldn't really be able to tell. I mean, does it look like I put anything on my skin at all? Does it? Maybe it does, and I'm just, I mean, like I told you not too long ago, denial slash brain not quite right now. But it definitely, it feels like water, but also feels like you put on a moisturizing gel cream. So let's see if I can build this up a bit. All right, so I do think it was able to build a little bit, not a ton, but I do think that like my redness on my face was evened out a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit. I mean, you can see this big blemish that I've got, yay, period. Because being sick isn't enough. You gotta get your period at the same time, right? Does that happen to anyone else? I feel like that always happens to me. But so, since I wasn't able to get much coverage, I'm just gonna go in with a really light concealer here because I've got other videos to film today and I wanna cover these up a little bit more. So I'm just using my Milk concealer. I think, you know, we were still able to see how much this was or wasn't able to cover. So at the end of the night, if this big blemish is still covered, we'll know that was not because of the BB cream, but because of this fabulous concealer. Same with this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy. We'll leave the other blemishes like this. I've just got some hyperpigmentation there, and yeah, so we'll still have just the BB cream to test out on some parts of my face, but I just want to do a little bit more concealing, as I said. So yeah, I mean, I think it looks fine on the skin, but it is certainly just that level of sheerness where I'm kind of feeling like, what's the point of even wearing it? I'd rather just not wear any makeup at all. This is the kind of coverage I'm getting, but that's just a personal preference. I know some people do like this kind of a look. It's kind of reminding me of, what is it, Becca that just came out with that no tint foundation where it's clear. Do you guys want me to review that? I don't know, it just seems awful. Like not reviewable, but either way, here we go. Here's my face, here's how it's looking. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup, get on with my day. Like I said, I'm making muffins. I'm excited. I'm gonna do that in a live chat with y'all, and I will see you all at the very end of the night so that we can check in, or maybe it'll be sooner, depending on how this ends up wearing. Ready? Ding! All right, hello everyone, good evening. It's the end of the night here. Shame on me. Apologies to anyone that I just made yawn, but yeah, it's the end of the night. Well, it's the end enough-ish of the night. I'm ready to take my makeup off, put in my eardrops, and go to bed. I know I haven't been wearing this BB cream for the longest amount of time here, but I think I have worn it enough that I've gotten a good feel for it. I definitely put it through some stuff today. I was getting like dripping in sweaty kind of sweat today when I was doing my live stream making those muffins. It was hot. It just has been hot, but I'm actually really shocked to see when I touch my face, I'm not seeing any transfer, and furthermore, I am not seeing much transfer or fade from my face. Like, I really didn't think there was going to be anything left on my face after all the sweating I was doing this afternoon, and it hasn't felt too greasy. I mean, it feels like I've got on like a decently heavy moisturizer type of a thing, but other than that, I'm pretty surprised. So I'm certainly curious to test it out with some primers, some more heavy duty concealers and that sort of a thing, see how it works with all of that. But otherwise, I think we might have a pretty decent contender for people who do like a sheer tint for the summer, or really any time of year. But I feel like most people tend to like it during the summer because it is so hot. You want to do the snap transition with me? So I'm gonna go get to testing, and you guys will get to see those results in just a second here. Ready? Ding! Hello everyone, good evening. It is the end of night 3 here for this weekly wear. Oh, I am a hot mess. Does anyone else get the urge to deep clean their apartment, house, whatever, their space? Only in the wee hours of the morning, the mid of the night. Never during the day when you have nothing going on. It's only like right before you actually should be going to sleep and you're just like, I need to clean everything. Well, that is exactly what happens to me all of the time. But anyways, aside from that, let me tell you about this BB cream. I am... you'll see. So you saw day 1. Now on day 2, I went ahead and I first thought that I would try using this with my e.l.f. matte primer as well as my Too Faced concealer. You know, just since this is a more dewy looking BB cream type of a thing, I thought a matte primer might help. Extra concealer coverage, maybe I'll be happier with the sheerness of this BB cream. So I went ahead and I did that. I stippled on the BB cream and then I went to blend it out with a sponge, but it did that thing where it just literally like wiped right off. Anytime I would go to dab the sponge, it was like using an eraser, not a blending sponge. So no matter how much I tried, no matter how hard I tried, it just wasn't working, wasn't cooperating. So I went ahead and I gave up. I wiped off my face and decided to start over. So I went ahead and I used my Guerlain. I wasn't gonna take any chances this time around, so I went ahead and I used my Guerlain primer, my beloved. Also went ahead and did my Too Faced concealer again, and then once again stippled the BB cream on top and sponge blended. I thought it looked good. It did look sheer once again. I mean, I was not expecting much coverage based on day 1, and it also did still come off a little bit when I did the sponge blending, but not anywhere near as bad as it did with the e.l.f. primer underneath. And throughout the day, I mean, it was fine. It was mostly lightweight and all of that. And at the end of the night, I was starting to feel, not necessarily oily, but it was starting to feel not necessarily heavy, but you know, I could just tell I was getting oily. And so when I looked at the end of the night, I certainly did look a bit greasy, shiny, oily, however you're gonna wanna phrase it. But that being said, I did think it looked much better at the end of the night once my oils had come through than it had when I first initially applied it. I thought my oils must have just made everything kind of blend together throughout the day, and I honestly didn't think it looked bad. It had certainly faded in places, and there was a medium amount of transfer onto my finger when I did my nose swipe test, so that was a bummer. Like I said, I kind of, you know, could feel that that was happening. So on day 3, since I kind of tested it with 2 primers on day 2, day 3 here I went ahead and used it in the way that I figured I would be using it if I continued to use this BB cream at all in my routine, and that's as a mix-in to not only sheer out any fuller coverage foundations, but also to give some dewiness to a more matte foundation. So I went ahead, how do I not remember what primer I used this morning? Thank God for filming. I got it on video. There you go. That's the primer I used. And also went ahead and did concealer, and I mixed the BB cream in with my Urban Decay Naked Foundation. I thought it looked really nice on the skin. It really blended quite beautifully mixed in with the Urban Decay. Gave me the coverage that I look for, and just overall I thought it blended and applied very nicely mixed in. And throughout the day here, it hasn't felt heavy, but I certainly, you know, with these hot flashes, you would think I'm going through menopause, but with these hot flashes and sweats that I'm going through in the heat here, and just with my oils, it certainly becomes more evident that I have on this BB cream. It's not to say that it feels heavy, it just feels noticeable on my skin. But at the end of the night here, I mean, I think it hung in pretty dang well. Definitely somehow came off like off of my whole chin, but for the most part, you know, my foundation looks pretty intact right now at the end of the night, which is surprising. So, do you see? I'm conflicted. Because do I really like this stuff? Would I ever use it on its own again? No. But like, I guess it wasn't the worst when I finally did get it to work, but I feel like it was way too much effort. As a mix-in, I think it might be able to stay in my collection, maybe. But I feel like I have other products that I like using as mix-ins better. Way to spoil the results, Cassie. Here's my pros and cons. Let's talk about it. For the pros, the first thing I could think of was just that it does stay mainly lightweight throughout the day. And it also does look better with wear, I think, with oils. I think it just makes it blend together on the face and look a lot more natural. And it's also semi-transfer proof. You know, some days and sometimes I feel like it was transfer resistant, but then other times it wasn't at all. I don't know. This was a very wishy-washy pro to add, but I felt bad only having 2 pros, so I added that one to make it 3. And then that's where we're moving on into the cons. First being the horrendous shade range. I mean, my God, we should really be at a place in the world now where we know that it was 6, right? 6 shades is not enough to cover the amount of skin shades there are. And I know it's impossible for any kind of a foundation or BB cream to cover every single color of skin out there, but like, come on now. I also find that it is really difficult to apply onto the skin and to blend. I never fully got a technique down that seemed to work to apply this stuff. You know, I tried with my fingers, a sponge, a brush, it was really difficult to apply and get blended out nicely. It is also a picky BB cream, which I don't appreciate. Picky in the sense that it's primer specific and other product and application specific. I don't need that in my life. And then also, like I said, a bit of a cop-out putting it that it's semi-transfer resistant in the pros, because also in the cons I put that it definitely transfers sometimes and that it feels like it's gonna transfer. You know, it just has that feeling, so it makes me wary of it on my face, and I don't like feeling nervous about having product on my face. So overall, there you go. There was my review on this new, I think, BB cream from Catrice. I'm sorry things didn't work out better. I was hoping for the best, but things just didn't work out between us. I hope the review was helpful for you guys in seeing how this wore on my skin for these past few days. Definitely let me and the rest of the Casserole fam know in the comments down below if you have tried out this BB cream, and if you have, what kind of skin do you have and what was your experience with it. It's always good to cook up a nice casserole of comments with you guys, all those opinions, so we can all be better informed about these products that I test here on my channel with y'all. You can also give me any recommendations on products you want to see me test in upcoming weekly wears in the comments, and you can also just let me know if you found the video helpful, enjoyable, whatever the case may be, by giving it a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. And if you're new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe. You can tippity tap that notification bell down below. Become a member of my Casserole family here on my channel. I would love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!